guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do current favorites. I haven't done a video about my favorites in a long time. I actually filmed one last month and then I got so behind that I never edited it and it never went up. So I have had like the craziest couple of weeks. I've just been so crazy busy. I just haven't had a chance to do one of these videos, but I do have some stuff that I'm obsessed with that I'm really liking right now, so I just figured I would do one of these videos, and at the end we're gonna have a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. What else? It's the holidays, so I have a lot of products here that I'm actually testing and trying right now, but the products I'm going to show you now are products I've been using for at least a month, if not longer. So I just figured time to chat about them. So if you guys want to know what my current favorites are, then keep on watching. Let's just start with something that I've already talked about on my channel, and that is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation. I did a whole video on this. I've talked about it several times. This is the only foundation I've been using since I got it, and I got it in like, I don't know, when did it come out? September? I'm wearing it now. It's just beautiful. I love it. I really like mixing it with L'Oreal Pro Glow. If you're somebody who has drier skin, I really recommend doing that because the Pro Glow is going to kind of take away some of the dryness, and it's just going to leave you with this flawless finish. I'm in shade 260. I don't really know what else to say. This stuff lasts forever. I can put it on once. I can wear it for 12 hours and it is still going strong. My makeup still looks amazing. So it has staying power. It's full coverage. It says medium, and a lot of people say it's like medium to full. I put one application and this is the coverage I get. I mean, I get a pretty full coverage. It covers all of my redness. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is amazing stuff. I'm really dying to try the Huda Beauty foundation. I haven't gotten my hands on it yet. It's like sold out everywhere. So I'm trying to get my hands on that so I can test it for you guys too. I've heard great things about it. I've seen a lot of reviews and everybody is raving about it. So I really want to try it. I haven't yet, but I'm working on it. Can we give a shout out to Mom? Because Mom came in town for Thanksgiving and hooked up the backdrop. We created a DIY situation here, so I have a couple of different backdrops to use now, which I'm excited about. I'm going to just interchange between my other backdrop and some fabric backdrops, but I'm excited about this, and thanks to my mom because she totally hooked it up. Okay, so the next product I want to talk about, let's just go into some lip products I've been loving lately. One of them is this Pixie lipstick, and I think it's called the Moisture Matte Luster Lipstick, I believe. And this is in the shade Rose Natural, and this is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. What I love about this formula is that even though it's matte, it's so hydrating and it lasts forever. Like, you can eat and drink and it's still on your lips. I'll put it on once and I have lipstick on for the entire night, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. So I really like that. This is the shade Swatched. As you can see, it kind of has a sheen to it, so it's not like a true matte, and it's certainly not drying. It's just, it's such an amazing formula, and this shade is just perfection in my opinion. I love it so much. To be honest, I haven't tried any other shades. I've been just hooked on this one, and I love it. I have been using, can you tell? This is the L'Oreal Color Riche Lip Liner. This is the shade Matting Call, but legit, all of the nudes, Mattes It and Mastermind, look just like this. They're teeny tiny because they're the only lip liners I have used. I did a video on this collection with the lipsticks and all the things that came out with it, I think in July or August, and that's when I got the products, and this is what they look like now, because I've just used them like every single day. It's the only lip liners I've used since I got them. This is the one that I have on right now. It goes really well with this lipstick, and I just love them. They last forever. They are waterproof. They're creamy. They are moisturizing. They're just everything, and they're from the drugstore. So, I mean, these are as good as any high-end lip liner that I've ever tried. Personally, I think they're amazing. So, I highly recommend checking these out if you haven't already. And also in the lip family are these Butter London Sheer Wisdom Lush Lip Oils. I'm obsessed with these. These caught me by surprise. This is the shade Dusty Rose, and you can see they have a felt tip. And you click this little thing and the product comes out. This is very similar to the lipstick. It's basically like a gloss, but it has some good color. Very, very, very hydrating. Very beautiful. I'll actually put this one on over this lip color so you guys can see. It just gives a nice sheen. Super moisturizing, and it has a really good pigment. I'm loving the shades Dusty Mauve, Cinnamon Spice, which is this one. You can see that one's a little bit deeper. And there's one called Bare It All, which is a nude, and I think it's in my purse right now. But I really, really love these. I think for the winter months, they're amazing, and they're really just like what your lips need in the winter. It's just like a drink of water with color. These are awesome. I can't say enough about them, and I was really surprised. I didn't think that I would love these, but I really do. Moving on, I have been using, I actually think I talked about these in my recent drugstore first impressions video, and that's these L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow powders. This one is in the shade Sun Beige, and these are really great. They have one side that's matte and one side that has a little bit of shimmer to it, and you swirl your brush around and you put, it's finishing powder. It just says like Demi Glow powder, and the great thing about these is they set your makeup, give you a little bit of coverage, but they don't look powdery, because you know how sometimes powders can really just make things look cakey or heavy. And these do not do that. They're really nice. I have this on my face right now. I set my makeup with it, and I've been using it every single day since I did that video of first impressions, and I'm just obsessed. I love it. I actually used a darker shade for my bronzer in that video, and I do that as well. I really like that as well. So these are really great. Drugstore. I also tried this silicone sponge from e.l.f. in that video, and I wasn't really sure about it, and I've been using it a lot. So I talked about the bigger one in my high-end first impression video because I like just busted it out and decided to use it in that video, even though it wasn't about drugstore products, and I hated it. But this one I really liked, and I noticed that it really presses your concealer into your pores and helps minimize your pores. It also does not eat any product because it's solid material. So where a beauty sponge will sop up a lot of product and you'll have to use more, this doesn't. So you can use less product. It really pushes it into the skin and gives you a flawless finish. I like it for concealer. I don't really like it that much for foundation. That being said, after using this for however long, I discovered this, and this is from Vanity Planet, and it came in this package with a pink version, and this is Blend Baby Makeup Sponge with Silicone Applicator. It came in a 2-pack. This is genius. Okay, so it's a beauty sponge on one side, but then on the bottom, it's a silicone sponge. So if you find that you're blending your concealer, right, and you have a little bit too much, or you want to get up under the eye, you can just flip it over and just press it in. So you're getting the best of both worlds with having the silicone sponge at the bottom. So you're able to press the concealer in, and then you can bring it up under the eye, or you can just kind of clean it up to get rid of some of the product and really just blend it out flawlessly. I really love this sponge. I just love it better than the silicone sponge by itself, because that's what I was doing with this anyway. I would do this and then I would put the sponge over it just to kind of get any excess, make sure it's blended out nice and perfectly, get up into my under eye. So this is just such a smart idea, and I really, really love it. If you've had like bad experiences with silicone sponge, I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe you need to work with it more. Because like when I first started working with them, I didn't like them. I didn't like them because I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I've kind of figured it out and I figured how to use it for me, I love it. So yes, I love that product. It's so good. So I want to talk about a couple of brushes that I got my hands on this month. A friend of mine was telling me I needed to check out Luxie brushes, and I had never I've heard of them, but I'd never tried their brushes. I just hadn't. I have all kinds of brushes, but Zoeva are the brushes that I lean towards, especially for eye makeup. But I recently was complaining that I just need new eye makeup brushes. And a friend of mine told me to check these out. I did. They are so awesome. This is the Luxie 205 Tapered Blending, and this one is the Luxie 235 Blending. So this is what they look like. They're obviously dirty because I just used them on my eyes right now. But I have to say, and I don't think it's a coincidence, when I started using these brushes, my eyeshadow game changed. I was just able to create these like beautifully blended looks faster and easier than with my Zoeva brushes that I swear by. I don't really know. I don't know what to say other than these things are amazing. They like really changed my eyeshadow game. I'm serious. They're synthetic, cruelty-free, and that also could be why, because the two brushes that I was using were natural bristle brushes, and I wasn't getting as good of a blend. I just wasn't. And my Morphe brushes that I have, I don't like them. I mean, if I'm being honest, like I have they're at my boyfriend's house actually. I have the 433 and the 441, I think, and I hate them. I think they blend like shit. If I'm being honest, like I really don't like them. And I have a lot of Morphe brushes, and I do have a lot of brushes that I like from Morphe, so I'm not bashing the brand, but those two eyeshadow brushes just do nothing for my eye makeup. Like I just feel like they look like crap. And I have some Sigma brushes, and they're okay. My Zoeva ones gave me the best blend up to that point, but I still feel like blending my shadow was always a struggle. Like I always had like a bit of skipping. Like I was just struggling with getting a flawless blend. And I tried these, and I have not struggled with blending my shadow, not one day since I got them. So I just ordered a bunch more because of Cyber Week. They had 50% off of everything on their website. So, of course, I was like, stock up on some eye brushes. And I got 5 brushes. I think one of the brushes I got was a contour brush, though. I got 4 eye brushes and a contour brush. So, when those come in, I'm going to test them out. And I'll let you know if, like, it was a fluke or if really these brushes are as amazing as these two, because I love these. Like, these are my new ride or die brushes. Like, obsessed. Luxie. Speaking of eyeshadow, I have this palette here from Urban Decay. It's really dirty. It has my fingerprints, but I love the packaging. It slides out, and then here are some beautiful, I don't want to blind you, but some beautiful shimmery shadows. You have jewel tone colors here, and then you've got some neutral tones here. Everything in this palette is shimmery, but the color payoff. Okay, so I have this shade here. I didn't mean to flip you off. I have this shade here on my lid right now, and these don't have names, do they? Oh yeah, After Party. And then this color here, which is like a bronzy orangey shade, that one is called Starfire. I have that sitting on top of the After Party, and I just really love these shadows. I've mostly played with this side of the palette because, I mean, these shades are a little bit more like wearable. I do really want to play with these shades, but I will, just to give you an idea, I'm going to dip in this one, which is called Punk Rock, so you can see just like the pigment is insane. I'm going to take this blue shade called Dive. Just ridiculous. Just so beautiful. So I kind of want to do a look with this color here called Mullet. It's this like really beautiful green color. It's so good. Like, these are so pigmented. They don't skip at all. I mean, it doesn't have any kind of transition shades. It's not like a complete palette. It's definitely like a holiday palette. And it's for sparkly holiday looks. So it's like an addition to your collection. It's not a palette that you can just get and think that you're going to use on its own. It's not like a travel palette or anything like that. This is just for like somebody who loves makeup, loves sparkly eyeshadows, and wants to be able to do a ton of looks with one palette. And the formula is just great. There's 20 shadows in here, like 20 shimmery, beautiful shadows. So like every holiday look you could possibly dream up, you can make with this. So I really like it. Next, I want to talk about a brand that is a very new discovery. They actually reached out to me and asked me to check out their products. So I said, yeah, you know, I'll check out your products. I love trying new things. It's this company called Hush, shophush.com, and they sell this brand called Bad Habit. Now, I don't know, you guys may have seen other people talk about this. This is the first I had ever heard about this brand, but they make palettes. Basically, they take a really famous palette and they recreate it with their own formula, but very similar shadows, and it's very similar to those famous palettes, but they're only $10. So I was like, all right, let me see. So they sent me a ton of palettes that I've been testing and trying and whatever. These palettes are each $10, and I want to show you these two palettes. So you've got Anastasia Modern Renaissance, which I've had forever, and the Royals palette by Bad Habit that they sent me. The Royals palette is supposed to be a dupe for Anastasia's Modern Renaissance. So I want to show them to you side by side. Now, don't judge, mine is a mess. But the colors are in a different order, and again, the formula is not the same, but these palettes are really close. Like really, really, really close. You can see that the brown color here in the corner is deeper than the one in this palette, but like the pink shade is very similar. You can see that the red is a little different too, but it's basically the same thing. It's a definite dupe. So when I realized this, that these were dupes, I was like, this is genius. I went on a mission to figure out what all of the dupes were. This one is the Inferno, which I figured out is a dupe for the Naked Heat palette. So let's open those up and look. Okay, so here's my Naked Heat palette, and here's the Inferno palette. You can see that the setup of the shadows is different. Again, the formula is different, but the shadows are very, very similar. There is a deeper brown color in this palette that does not exist in this palette. So there are subtle differences. But if you've been dying for this palette but you can't afford it, this one's $10 and it's going to give you the same idea. So now you may be asking, well, that's fine and good, but what's the formula like? Well, I have been testing these palettes for the better part of a month, and the formula is blowing my mind. Okay, so this one, Retro Love. Does this remind you of anything? This is a dupe for the Anastasia Subculture palette. The palette that was a disaster all over the internet, that everyone said the formula was terrible. I didn't buy the palette, so I don't know. I don't have the palette, so I don't know. But I wanted the palette because I was obsessed with the colors, but I didn't want to buy it and have it suck for $42. So when this got sent to me, I was in heaven. And the formula is awesome. So this yellow color right here, okay, so good. Look at that pigment. And then this color here, now that's a matte shade. So this color here, that's the gold shimmery shade. Like, are you kidding me? Do you guys see how pigmented those are? Let me do another one. This green color here, I need a different finger. How about this finger? This green color, okay? $10. Guys, so good. These are definite dupes. They're different enough that they're not a rip-off or anything, but they're close enough that you've been dying to try certain things, but you just can't, because let's be honest, makeup is expensive. Like, it's gotten expensive. Even drugstore makeup has gotten expensive. And I just love the idea that this makes palettes accessible to everybody. And if you just can't afford a $42 palette, this one's 10 bucks, you know, and you get the same idea. And let's say, for example, there's a palette that you've been dying to try, but like you didn't want to pull the trigger because it was super expensive, like me. There's this. So this palette is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I never bought that palette because to me it was really expensive and I wasn't sure. There was so many mixed reviews, so I hemmed and hawed and I never ended up pulling the trigger. So I got this one sent to me and it's awesome. I used it on my eyes. It's in my crease. I have this color on my lid underneath the Urban Decay shadow. I have these three in my crease and I used this for my transition color and they're just so beautiful. So let me swatch this pretty cranberry shade for you. Like, are you kidding me? And then I'll do the red shade. This is a matte shade. $10. 10. This color here is so unique and so beautiful. It's like a rose gold shade. It's not quite cranberry, but it's not quite gold. It's sort of in the middle, and I didn't make my swatch long enough. I just love it. I mean, just the pigment, the color payoff, it's just $10. It's mind-blowing. I'm gonna swatch this pink one just for shits and giggles. You guys, it's so exciting. Like, it just makes me so happy inside that this makes a palette that's, I want to say that palette was like $58 or something like that, or $64. And you can now get something similar for $10. So you can explore more and play more, and you're not limited to just drugstore. Like, you can kind of step out of drugstore makeup and have things that you may not otherwise have been able to afford. The other one that I was testing is this one here. It's called the Sugar palette. It is a dupe for the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. And I never got that palette either. And I just, I love this. This is a really great everyday palette. I've been using it for a lot of day looks. I'm like obsessed with, of course, those two shades. I love the shimmery shades. I can swatch. Not even in focus. I can swatch these also for you so that you can see that the pigment is really consistent across the board. So I think that this brand has their own formula. Bad Habit. They have their own formula, and what they do is they just take their own formula and they create similar palettes to very popular, very expensive palettes. And they don't only do eyeshadows. So I just want to show you this palette here, which is very well loved lately, so you can see it's very dirty. This is called the Rosé Highlight Collection. Palette looks a mess because I've used it, but this palette is a dupe for the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette, also one I don't have, but I will tell you, these highlights are freaking amazing. I really hope you can see this. Let me swatch a few others. Okay, so here are some swatches from the palette. Just look at that pigment, you guys. I just kind of go into like these four. Like, they're just $10. So, that being said, I wanted to do a giveaway. So there's a couple of palettes that I have that are dupes. There's this Unicorn Glow palette. I have the Inferno palette. I have a palette that is called the Midsummer Night palette, and this is a dupe for, I think, the Lorac palette. And then I have some Anastasia Glow Kit dupes here. Like for the Sugar, I think it's called like the Sugar Glow Kit, and there's another one that's out, and I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but these are dupes for those Anastasia palettes. So I'm going to be giving away these 5 palettes, so 5 people are going to win 1 palette each, And it may be one of the highlights, it may be one of the eyeshadow palettes. It will be at random. All you have to do to enter to win is to leave me a comment down below. Be subscribed to my channel. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what is the one palette that you always wanted but you just couldn't pull the trigger because it was too expensive that you would love to see a dupe of. Let me know. Leave me a comment down below. And that's all you gotta do. Be subscribed and you're entered to win. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my current favorites, learning about some new products. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social. I'm on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. My handle is @glamlatte. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!